Good afternoon, everyone, and for those watching on YouTube, welcome to a pretty special day here for UNH Athletics, the day we introduce Ryan Colton as the new Director of Athletics. President Chilton gets it started. It is important to note you do not need to hold applause to the end. We want this to be fun. It is a great day. President Chilton, who will be up here shortly, appointed Ryan as the Director of Athletics back on July 27th. Previously, Ryan, 15 years in senior leadership in college athletics administration. Started as a Massachusetts guy, New England guy from Taunton, Mass. Oh, some Taunton love in the house, yes. That is more than welcome. Went as a student athlete to Bucknell University, played on the football team as a quarterback. Earned his degree in political science, a Juris Doctor degree from New England Law, Boston, and then postgraduate studies at Choate Rosemary Hall. Was admitted to the Massachusetts Bar, practiced law in private practice, and was a staff member in the Massachusetts State Senate. Held several public service and legal positions, city councilor, council president, and then said, that's enough of politics. I want to move into college athletics administration. And so he did. He moved to Providence College, where he was the assistant to the athletic director, Bob Driscoll. From there, on to the College of Holy Cross, where he contributed to the administration in compliance, policy, and education. And then for the last 8 years, University of Richmond. And I think as I look around, student athletes, coaches, staff members, there's one thing we all can agree upon. The last 8 years have featured seismic change in not only the world, but especially in college athletics. And he was on the front line for all of that, from COVID to being in charge of NIL, significant growth as the chief advisor on strategy, restructured and rebranded the school's athletic fund, which led to record-setting annual giving results. He did all this, mind you, while surrounded by spiders. I would have got a better reaction than I thought so. Arachnophobia is still in vogue. I like that. But yeah, so that was at Richmond, and now he's here at UNH, back at UNH. I don't know if this is going to come up in his prepared statements, but he did share with us during the interview process that when he was a prospect in high school looking at colleges, he came here on a junior visit to UNH around 1998. And longtime UNH football fans will recall that was when the baton was being passed from one Hall of Fame coach in Bill Bowes to a future Hall of Fame coach in Sean McDonald. We went from being a running university with Jerry Azuma, Hall of Famer, and became the throwing school that we are known for today. A guy named Ryan was already competing at quarterback then, and this Ryan decided not to. I'm not here to judge, it wasn't the right time, but it could have been Ryan Colton, perhaps October 4th, 2026, going into the UNH Hall of Fame instead of Ryan Day.
Coach Bowes and Coach Mack never offered.
Revisionist history, Ryan, revisionist history. It just goes to show that wasn't the right time, but now is. And, being a former student athlete, there's so many in the room today, he's made it quite clear that you will be at the center of every decision that is made here at UNH as we embark in the next chapter. And by the way, he didn't come alone, all right? And he's brought a strong team with him, his lovely wife, Brittany, beautiful daughter, Ella. And this is going to be a big relief to the commissioners with us today. Steve Metcalf from Hockey East, Brad Walker from America East, and Joey D from the CIA watching at home. I've heard that Grady Colton has volunteered to be the overseer of officiating at all UNH athletics events, which I think is the best part of this entire deal. With that in mind, it is time to make it official, and for that, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome to the microphone the president of the University of New Hampshire, Elizabeth Chilton.
Well, good afternoon. It's so wonderful to see so many of our student athletes here, our athletic staff members, Wildcat fans, and supporters with us today. And a special thank you to Commissioners Brad Walker, Steve Metcalf, for joining us. And welcome back to Kate McAfee. Where are you, Kate? Are you here? There you are, hiding in the back there. Yes. Welcome back. I'm excited to talk about Ryan, and I promised that I will. But before I do, I want to share something that became central when we were initiating this search. We spent a lot of time talking with candidates, not only about leading an athletics department, but about the role that athletics plays in advancing the institution. UNH, of course, I don't need to tell this audience, has a history of strong athletic programs. Our teams inspire pride across the state. They bring Wildcats together across generations. They create lifelong connections among alumni and fans, some of which are represented in this room. And they give our students opportunity to compete and win at the highest level. All of this while earning an outstanding education. That tradition gives us a strong foundation, but just as importantly, it sets ambitious expectations for the future. We expect to compete for championships. We expect our student athletes to thrive in competition, in the classroom, throughout their college experience, and in their lives after graduation. We want to support our coaches in their efforts to recruit, develop, and retain exceptional student athletes. We're investing in facilities that reflect the excellence of our programs and create a first-class environment for athletes, coaches, and fans. As the people in this room know better than anyone, college athletics is changing at a remarkable pace. Today's athletic director must be a strategist, a fundraiser, an ambassador, a compliance expert, and a gifted administrator. I did mention all these during the job interview, right? Like check, 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 check. And all this while never losing sight of the students who are at the center of it all. And that brings us to the man of the hour. Throughout the search process, Ryan Colton consistently impressed all of us with the incredible breadth of his background and the broad perspective that comes from leading across multiple facets of Division I athletics. And what has impressed me most is Ryan's belief that the best way to support our student athletes and leverage the strength of D1 athletics is by making athletics an integral part of the university. Over the course of his career, he has demonstrated a commitment to building strong partnerships across the university because he knows that students are most successful when coaches, faculty, advisors, and all of us are working together and investing in their success. It's why I have every confidence that Ryan will build on the proud tradition of Wildcat athletics and will help lead it and the university to even greater achievements in the years ahead. Ryan, Brittany, Grady, and Ella, welcome to the University of New Hampshire. I think you can see from this team of students, faculty and staff and supporters and fans here today how excited we are to welcome you. I'm looking at you. You're going to make me cry. Folks, today is a great day to be a Wildcat. Please join me in welcoming Ryan Colton as the next Director of Athletics at the University of New Hampshire.
President Chilton, here is the jersey. Please
Should we go in front of them?
right in front of the table here.
Oh, in front of the
Yeah.
table. I'm 21, so you're 26. There we go.
Thank you. We're thrilled to be Wildcats, and we're really, really happy to be home in New England. President Chilton, leadership team, members of the community, campus community, faculty, staff, and most importantly, student athletes, thank you for being here. I'd also like to thank the members of the search committee, Debbie Dutton, Kevin Narr, Andy Smith, Mike McCann, and Michelle Bronner for the trust you've placed in me. Really thankful for this opportunity, and Michelle especially, and the rest of the athletics leadership team. I can't wait to roll up our sleeves and get to work over the next few years. Head coaches and student athletes, can't wait to be your teammate. Come Monday, I've always thought that the best compliment in the athletics context that you can give anybody that you work with is that they were a great teammate. I want to be a great teammate to you. We're going to work hard, and our student athletes are going to be the focus of our mission. It's also so great to see so many of our head coaches and former head coaches. I had an opportunity yesterday to stop by the field hockey golf tournament briefly, and it was just so amazing to see the UNH community. And I got to meet so many former legendary head coaches at the University of New Hampshire supporting each other. And that's the type of community that I want to. I thought I wanted to build it. You guys convinced me yesterday that what we need to do is build upon it and harness it to move UNH athletics forward. Finally, this is really one of the great honors of my career. So I am looking forward to working with each and every one of you. So in athletics, we often talk about journey or path. For me, my journey and my path began in Taunton, Mass. I grew up in a house where service, education, and community mattered. All that really mattered to me was sports. But if I didn't take care of those other things, sports would never be part of the equation. My mother was a third grade teacher, and she wasn't going to let me play any sports if I didn't focus on community, education, and service. And that's really the foundation of my leadership. I was an okay athlete, didn't get offered by New Hampshire, but I did have an opportunity to go play football at a great university in Pennsylvania, at Bucknell University. I had great coaches, professors, and mentors that challenged me, and I was drawn to come back to intercollegiate athletics because of the impact that those teachers, professors, coaches had on me. My path to intercollegiate athletics from a professional sense was not a traditional one. I worked in politics and law. I was the only lawyer in the corner of the courtroom that was reading the Sports Business Journal. But I'd like to tell you that I predicted all of the changes that were coming in intercollegiate athletics. I didn't. It was really my passion for impact and students that brought me to that. But those experiences in government, politics, and law have been invaluable as I have helped the institutions that I've worked at navigate this changing landscape of intercollegiate athletics. You know, I was drawn to UNH not just for the opportunity to come home. Core belief everywhere I've been is that athletics is not separate from the university's educational mission. It's one of its most powerful expressions and central to its mission. I think a great athletics program, when coupled with the opportunity to take full advantage of a great education like UNH, can have a great impact on our young people. And we only have 4 or 5 years to do that, so we have to be really urgent about our work. I believe UNH's commitment to student success and access to opportunity aligns with my values. I also think that there's a real history, proud athletic tradition, and an opportunity to collaborate with great leaders on campus to move UNH athletics forward. I also think New Hampshire and the Seacoast region is a competitive advantage, so I want to get out in the community and engage with our corporate partners, community partners, to make sure that they know everything that's going on in UNH athletics, but also really as a front porch to the university and everything that's going on at this university. That combination is what drew me here. So what kind of leader will I be? A lot of people have asked me that. First and foremost, we're going to be student-centered in everything we do. UNH athletics is going to be a student-centered endeavor. Every decision, first and foremost, is going to be focused on student-athlete success and well-being. We're going to have clarity of purpose. The student-athlete is at the core of our mission. And coaches, winning is a central component to a great student-athlete experience. We're going to seek broad-based excellence. Excellence in competition, the classroom, and the community. We're going to compete for and win championships, ensure our student-athletes take full advantage of the academic opportunity a UNH education can offer, and we're going to be a department that is going to be among the most respected in the country, that New Hampshire and the region and the university can be proud of. Championships matter, but I think the people that we shape and impact, our student athletes, that matters more, and that's really going to be the focus of our department. We're going to build community, or after yesterday, we're going to harness the community here at UNH. It's a remarkable community, and everyone that we've met as we've gone through this process, and we're relocating up to the Seacoast region. The community is going to be a central part of everything that we do. We're going to deepen ties across campus, Durham, the Seacoast region, and the state of New Hampshire. That starts at home, though. It's great to see so many student athletes here today, but I want to see our student athletes supporting each other. I want to see football at women's soccer. I want to see gymnastics out supporting women's basketball. I want to see us all pack the Whittemore Center when some of our Hockey East rivals come to town. So really, I want to build a great community of student athletes, staff that will then build out our campus community and be a driver for UNH to engage with the broader Seacoast and New Hampshire region. Finally, we're going to be responsible but bold stewards. We're going to be efficient and responsible stewards of our resources, but we need to be creative, innovative, and aggressive in our growth of new revenue and philanthropic support. Both are equally important to ensure we have the resources to compete and provide a first-class student-athlete experience. You may have heard that, and Elizabeth alluded to this, college athletics is having a moment. Significant change, upheaval. We must acknowledge first and foremost the scale of that, whether it's conference alignment issues at the highest levels, the House settlement, potential federal legislation, NIL, evolving legal and regulatory issues. I could go on and on and on. Dealing with these issues is now central to the role of an athletics department. It's not an ancillary issue anymore. UNH athletics must meet the moment. It's going to be difficult at a mid-major program, but I believe it as a collaborative exercise. It's not just an athletics issue, working with campus, university leadership, the board, faculty. I believe that we can meet this moment and best position Wildcat athletics for future success. It's going to take hard work on and off campus, and we're going to need the full support of Wildcat Country. Our immediate priorities are going to be, first, to listen, build relationships with coaches, staff, faculty, student athletes, campus community, partners, alumni, donors, fans. We need to understand what's working, what's not, where our biggest opportunities are. So that will be my immediate focus. Then finally, a few thank yous. First and foremost, to Brittany, Ellen, Grady. They look great in Wildcat gear, don't they? And to my dad and Dan and Laurie, Brittany's parents, and my family and friends that are here from Taunton, thank you all for the sacrifices you have all made to allow today to happen, especially through the moves. I've also been really fortunate to have great colleagues, friends, and mentors, some of who I see here today, and I'm thrilled to join my old friend Jim Roble as a Wildcat. We go way back to our Holy Cross days. Really, 4 people in my career have given me opportunities that have allowed for this opportunity to take place. First and foremost, Bob Driscoll, who was my athletic director at Boston College. Coach Driscoll, as I call him, he's the best coach I've ever had at any level. He's an amazing human being and a mentor and a friend. Nate Pine and Rose Shea from Holy Cross, the opportunities I had there really laid the foundation for my career. And then finally, John Hart, who's been an amazing mentor and friend who I've known since I was 18 years old. He was my athletic director at Bucknell, who has just been an amazing mentor, guide, sponsor, and I'm so proud to have been part of his team and the special athletic department that had such great historic success at the University of Richmond. So thank you to those 4. As I close, I'm honored and humbled to lead UNH athletics into this next chapter. At every stop of my career, I've been led by this one conviction, that athletics at its best is one of the most powerful expressions of a university's educational mission. UNH's commitment to student success, access to opportunity, are exactly what drew me here. I can't wait to get to work alongside our coaches, staff, student athletes, the broader campus community, to build something special for this university. Thank you, and it's a great day to be a Wildcat.
Hi, Ryan. Alex Hall, the New Hampshire Union Leader. You mentioned it a little bit in your speech, but just the importance of generating revenue for the department, and just wanted to ask you just some of the ideas that you have initially coming in to the job.
Well, I think number one, that's always been a really important issue for any athletic department. It's never been more important than it is today. The economic paradigm of college athletics has shifted. I mean, some initial ideas that I have are, number one, I'm going to really engage with Debbie Dutton and Kevin Conley and the staff here, but also with Demi and the team, corporate sponsorships, really getting under the hood and finding out where our opportunities are. And certainly there are industry trends that we're going to make sure that we're researching, studying, and not everything that worked at Richmond is going to work at UNH, or certainly things that are working at the Big Ten wouldn't work here, but there are elements that we can take that we can scale to UNH to make sure that we drive more revenue, because we're going to need it to compete, because we're in 3 really competitive conferences, so we're going to need more resources to compete at the highest levels.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Thank
Alan
you.
Russell's from here and elsewhere. Can you talk a little bit, you touched on it there, but first, what kind of law were you practicing? And then when the turn came, was there something you've been thinking about for a long time? Was there a moment, was there a time that kind of said, I'm going to switch over to athletics, and what kind of drove that?
Yeah, I practiced a little bit of everything. I was a public defender at one point. I was practicing a small firm as well, so I did that for a few years. Really, it was one of those things. I was always fascinated by the business of sport. I was driven by the values that I grew up with and the importance of education, and how the combination of sport and great academic opportunity could impact young people. The son of a third-grade teacher, education was really, really important. For me, I think it was probably my wife, Brittany, was the one that really pushed me to transition into that. And then I had the opportunity to get to know Bob Driscoll, who provided me with an amazing opportunity to go work for him at Providence College. And really, the rest is history. We didn't look back from there.
On the football side, the CAA has seen a lot of teams leave the conference in recent years. Just your initial kind of outlook on maybe the conference and at the FCS level at this point, and where UNH sort of fits into the landscape.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I see Coach Goldrich in the back. I'm hoping for a great year in the CAA and winning a lot of games first and foremost. I think we always have to be monitoring at all levels, and really has nothing to do with the CAA or any. We need to be monitoring the landscape out there. I think it's, we're not doing right by our institution if we don't do that. So those types of things are things we're going to monitor all the time. But thrilled to, having spent 7 of my 8 years at Richmond in the CAA, thrilled to be back in the CAA, and texted with Commissioner D'Antonio tomorrow. Thrilled to be back in the conference.
Time for one more? No?
Enough gas at this time. If you could go back a little bit, as it was mentioned there, a UNH legend. How did the recruiting visit go, and did Coach Bose make a mistake?
I don't know if anybody. We weren't very good at Taunton until my senior year, so I don't know if anybody talked to me, but I had a nice visit up to Durham. So I was, I was not really an FCS recruit until my year at Chilton. So I would say, I was thrilled and honored to be up here, but I didn't get a whole lot of love from the coaching staff that day. I got a lot more love from Coach Mack yesterday. But I was undersized and slow, so. Yes, I traveled up with Richmond football about 5 years ago and got to sit with Jim Roble upstairs, and it was a really cold and rainy day. I couldn't even get my dad to drive up for the game.
All right, there'll be some time for any more questions after, but for now, let's officially welcome Ryan Colton.
Thank you.